Hello my friends, and welcome to the Mindful Making YouTube channel. Here we talk about yarn and we talk about making and knitting in particular. So I hope you have your project ready, a bit of coffee or tea in your cup, and that you will enjoy the next half hour or so with me, where we will talk about what I have been working on lately, what my plans are, and also share a bit of what else is happening in my life. So my name is Jane. I am a Danish knitter. I've recently returned from 12 years in Australia. I live here in Isla, which is north of Copenhagen, currently at my brother's place while I'm settling back into Denmark. So welcome, this is episode number 72 I think, and today I have a few finished, no actually just only one fully finished object, and then I have 3 other projects on the go, 2 sweaters and another something special. So as I said, I hope you are comfortable and that you have your favorite project, whether it's crocheting or knitting with you, and let's dive in. You can find everything about my knitting life and links to Ravelry and my web shop on mindfulmaking.com.au on the internet, and there you can also find a link to my Instagram profile, which is Mindful Making. On Ravelry, I'm mindfulmakingAU. Let's start with what I'm wearing, and today I am wearing the Great Southern Vest, which is a design that I released in late or during 24. I can't remember the month, but it was a collaboration with Great Southern Yarn in Australia. So the original design is knitted up in their beautifully plump 5-ply merino yarn in a darker blue than what I'm wearing. This is another version that I've knitted up, and it's knitted in 2 strands of super soft from Holst yarn in the colorway Iced. The main detail of this vest is the twisted rib details on the shoulder, which are slanting back towards the back, and then repeated underneath the side here, and then it is it has a split hem and sort of reaches me around hip height here. Yeah, just a quick turn around, wearing it with a white shirt that I haven't ironed, so apologies for that. But the Great Southern Vest, and I have knitted this in a size 3. I have the 2 strands of super soft is held together, and it's worked on I think a 5mm needle, so a US 9. It's a quick project, fairly easy. You start at the back with creating the back shoulder detail, and then work your way down to the armholes. Then you do the front, create the neck shaping, and then gather in the round, knitting the body in the round. I love wearing this vest, and I am thinking of knitting up yet another version in also a super soft yarn from Holst, a color that I have adored for a long time, and it is this one. I don't think the camera does the yarn, or maybe it does actually when you look at it here, does the yarn justice, because look at this variation of that deep burgundy color, and then flecks of blue and slightly sort of orangey undertones in this yarn. So I can see myself creating another vest in 2 strands of this yarn held together. And the colorway is called Jasper. And I visited Holst Garn, well, it's probably 6 weeks ago now, and bought this cone of beautiful wool yarn. Yeah, so I think that soon I will have another Great Southern vest on my needles. Yeah, let's just have a sip of tea. I promised you a finished object, and that is a pair of socks. Apologies, I do not have my sock blockers yet. They are still in transit over the 7 seas. Actually, the container has arrived in Rotterdam, so it is in Europe, and now it's just a matter of weeks before it will arrive here. I will need to put it in storage until I get my own place so I can move in and unpack. But there are things in those boxes that I really miss. One thing are one of which is the sock blockers, and my knitting journal is there, and also I feel like that I am drawn to sewing as well at the moment, and I don't want to go out purchasing fabrics when I know that I have 2, 3, 4 boxes of fabrics arriving soon. The finished pair of socks are these beautiful textured socks, and the pattern is called Angel Wings. It is a pattern that's only available in Danish. It's called Englevinger, and it's a design by Folmer Knits. They are worked in this beautiful light blue, and I started on them when in the last episode. I think that was where, well, I was only, just a few centimeters down the first leg. The color comes up much more blue on the camera than in reality. It is a aqua turquoise green blue, which it doesn't look like on the screen in front of you. It has this beautiful lace pattern on the foot and up the front of the leg, and then on the back of the leg I just continued the 1x1 ribbing and down into the heel, and then it's just a regular heel flap and gusset construction and stockinette under the foot. It's a beautiful project, and I absolutely loved knitting these. It doesn't look as fancy as if the sock blockers were here, but anyway, loved knitting them. These are my second pair of with this pattern. The previous are brown, a reddish brown. Love this pattern. They are beautiful on the feet, and just a bit more interest than the regular vanilla sock. So Angel Wings, and this yarn is it's a hand-dyed yarn, and it's from Half Baked Hand Dyed, an Australian yarn dyer, where for Christmas I gifted the young people in the family, nieces and nephews. I knitted them socks of a self-striping yarn from Half Baked Hand Dyed, and I needed some extra for cuffs, heel and toe, and one of the extra skeins that I bought was this beautiful blue colorway, and I have to look up in my new knitting journal, and it's the colorway, it's called Watch the Birdie, and I used 210 meters of yarn for these pair of socks, 64 stitches on a 2.25 millimeter needle, and it's a 400 meters per 100 gram regular sock base. And yeah, there should be 40 minutes up here, and I finished these on 20th of February. The first and only finished object in this video. Continuing on looking at progress on projects that I talked about in the last episode, and I am knitting up the Isla sweater, a design by Lene Holme Samsø. And as you can see, it isn't finished yet because it's still in pieces. The front here, and then I have knitted the back with a bit of black sitting somewhere. Yeah. And I had the first sleeve done in the last episode, and now I have the second sleeve as well. So it is ready to be sewn together. It was my intention to do that last weekend. I didn't get to do that, so maybe, well, soon. It will be gifted to my daughter, who arrives here in Denmark for a visit late May, so there's still plenty of time. The yarn here is a combination of the Holstan, the Coast yarn, which is a cotton wool blend, held together with 100% alpaca, the Titicaca yarn, and the colorway Titicaca is the Ecru, and Coast the Dove. And it gives a beautiful, soft, sandy beige with a sort of a reddish, not reddish, but a warm undertone. The Isla pattern has this beautiful cabling on the front and back, and also on the sleeves, as we see here, and then well, it's not a set-in shoulder, but it's a set-in shoulder-ish shoulder construction. Yeah, that is, the knitting is done. The fabric is soft and light and squishy. I have knitted on a 4mm needle, so a US 6. I need to consult the Isla sweater. I finished knitting on the 12th of March. Today it is Monday, the 18th of March. And I have used up a 2,352 meters in total. The pattern is, well, it is a design by Lene Holme Samsø, as I mentioned, and it's available in a beautiful book of hers, the Heather Hill book, and I have shown it before. Here it is. It is this Isla sweater. I can highly recommend this book. There are many beautiful designs in here, so it's worthwhile the investment. Hopefully, I won't promise though, you will soon see it all seamed up and finished, and a collar and everything. That will happen soon. I have also started, as I showed in the last episode, so please go back if you want to hear more about the next project, and that is a oversized dark blue luscious warm sweater, and it's called Klosterport, and it's a design by Annette Danielsen. Here we are, and warning, the light will blow out with such a big dark project in front of the camera. The body is done. It has a split hem detail, longer in the back. And with the hem detail with a slanting front here. And then a ribbing detail up in the shoulder area. Sleeve half done. And just a tiny bit of the second sleeve. I have, however, run out of yarn, so this is how far I got. And the yarn is a combination of, this is called Saga. It is a merino yarn from Filcolana, held together with silk mohair from Isla. And the colorways are, thank God I have this book, color 100 in the silk mohair, and then color 115 in the Filcolana Saga. I have knitted up full 4 skeins of the Filcolana, so far 1200 meters. And I have just ordered 1 skein, and well, now I'm just thinking whether I should order an extra. Now I think 1 skein will be enough. And I will get it in a couple of weeks when I visit Aalborg again. The yarn is purchased at Garn Café Medicine. If I can, I will try to show you the struggles I had picking up stitches to fold down the collar on the back. Let's see, can you see that? Oh, it's very difficult to show that it sort of have a bump up here. I'm still debating whether that should be changed, whether I should pull back, or whether it's just a feature of this jumper. It doesn't ruin or impact the fit at all, and it's in the back. If I wear my hair long, you won't see it at all. I have knitted size large, and it's just to ensure that I got this, truly oversized comfy, and I have achieved that. Well, we are moving into spring here in the Northern Hemisphere, so I will finish knitting this, and then I will probably put it away until the winter, or it will be use it if it will is a very cold summer we move into. Klosterport by Annette Danielsen. It is available in this little knitting book called Knitting for Winter, and I have totally copied the design and the color in the dark blue combination. A pleasure to knit. Also from the library. Whoop. That is an ongoing project, but hibernating at the moment because I need to wait for the extra ball of yarn. In my suitcase, I brought, one of the suitcases I brought when I moved here, I had some yarn from my stash that I thought I would, use and put into a project, and I have started. I am working with this yarn, which is Tynd Line by Sandnesgarn. I don't have the label here, so I am not fully aware of the number. Yes, I do. I did have the label, so it is Sandnes Tynd Line, It is colorway 2146. You can't see that. Interesting, the camera really thinks it's all about people and eyes, I think. So even if I cover my face, it won't focus. Anyway, it is colorway 2146, and Sandnes Tynd Line is a blend of 53% cotton, 33% viscose, and 14% linen. And there's 220 meters in a 50-gram ball. I am holding 2 strands together, and well, this looks like an absolute mess. And I have started on a Nuala, which is designed by Truly Myrtle. So Libby Johnson, she is a New Zealand designer. That jumper has this beautiful lace pattern on the shoulder and then a wide boat neck. This is actually the back, and it has batwing type sleeve construction, a very wide, open, flowy garment. So I am on the second ball of yarn in this. I called it my gold blouse. I will show you the design, the pattern here. Nuala, and there is another picture that shows you the back wing oversized design. I have knitted one before in a silver, so why not a gold jumper as well, or a blouse, because it is light and flowy. I have just styled it with a long necklace, and I feel quite dressed up wearing that sweater, so I thought I would do a gold version as well. However, I am not sure that I can actually wear this color, whether I will just fade completely. So I will let you decide and comment on whether I should continue, whether I totally wash out in the face with this color, or whether you think it's suitable for me. So let me know in the comments below. Love the fabric that this gives, and I am working on a 5mm needle. The pattern asks for a 5.5mm, but because my yarn is slightly thinner, I have gone up a size, so I am knitting a size large. What do you think? Can I wear a color like this? I don't know. Maybe. But I enjoy knitting this. I enjoy the yarn and the quality. I know that the finished object is something that I will wear in terms of the garment detail style. It's just a matter of the color. It will just sit and wait for your judgment, I'm about to say, or your opinions, and please be honest. The Nuala by Libby Johnson, Truly Myrtle. Finally, which is a slightly different object that I'm knitting on, is based on a wish from my oldest son. He said, "Mom, I really need a coffee warmer to sit to keep my plunger coffee, stempelkende coffee." I could have sewn him a version, but again, as I said, my fabrics and everything is still on its way here. So why not knit him a coffee warmer? I actually found a pattern in this book from the library, and it is a Swedish designer which is called, well, who is called Erika Åberg. Knitted from coast to coast, Erika Åberg. Here we have the coffee warmer, the coffee head. And I thought, ooh, look at that texture and those, that colorway and the stranded color work. So, yeah. I started, and the directions called for something with red and orange. I do have some red yarn in my stash, but orange not so much. But I went through my stash and found a red coast, dove in coast from from Holst, then also leftover in the graphite in the super soft, which I used for my oldest son's, or both actually, zipper jumpers that I knitted for my sons for Christmas. And then this, which is in the jasper, which is also reddish. And this, which is super soft silver grey. Choosing to have these lighter colors as main colors, and then contrast colors here. And then the tiny bit of leftover from my stripy socks. This is from the half-baked hand-dyed. You may recognize, you may recognize the light blue, which is the color that I bought extra for the toe, heel and cuffs. So it matches this self-striping yarn. So those together, and here it is, the coffee warmer for my son. I love it. Only using scrap yarns, and you can get away with even very tiny scraps. These little color bumps here, you may recognize the self-striping yarn sit in here. This is actually another that I thought I would use, but I decided just to go with the self-striping. And then the red, and then a bit of toned down gray. He said, Mom, I don't want too much gray. It's way too boring. So here it is. I thought to knit it double. So I am now knitting the lining, which will be just gray, and that will then just fold in. Eventually fold inside. So you would have something like this to give it a bit more sturdiness and a warmth as well. Yeah, and then possibly a pom-pom on the top, or a wooden bead or something, or just a large button up here. Yeah, that will be done in a few days time, and then I will finish it off, sew in the ends and just connect the two layers, wash it, and also see how it fits a plunger. It's called a stempelkende. To see if I need to felt it slightly for it to fit and get comfy. It is worked on a 3.5 millimeter needle. For the super soft here, for instance, I've just that is just held single, and the main color here. For the coast, I held them double. The super soft will grow and fluff up when washed. Yeah, love it, love it. The crown if you can call it that. Looks great as well, even though I made a few mistakes. Only I know. Yeah. So this is a coffee warmer, and it's a design by Erika Aubert. I'm very happy with this, and I'm looking very much forward to gifting him the coffee warmer. I have woven in the ends. It's all finished and beautiful inside. Yeah, I love it. It could actually also be used as a hat. You can increase or decrease. I would need to increase the number of stitches to have it fit over my head. Yeah, a coffee warmer for my son. That is what is happening in and around my knitting basket. A few yarn purchases, or actually not purchases, but handovers. A knitting colleague of mine in a knitting group brought to our get-together a bucket of cotton yarn, and I selected, I think there are 8 balls of this off-white cotton yarn, and then there are, I think, 2 balls of this darker brown. I will use some of it for a summer hat for my daughter. It will be a crocheted hat, and it's from Air Crochet, a designer and a company who is very modern in the crochet designs. And if you are into crochet or want to try it out, check out her Ravelry page, Air Crochet, where you can find her designs. They are beautiful. So I am thinking of, I will crochet her, my daughter, a hat, a bølle hat, which is called something special in English, which I can't remember, with the white as the main color and then the brown, light brown, as the contrast color. I may hold the yarn double. I haven't checked the pattern requirements yet. I know it is crocheted on a 3.5 millimeter hook, so I'm looking forward to diving into that. I might even crochet one for myself, or one of the bags that she also has patterns for. Throwing back to December and my yarn calendar, and I will again insert a picture up here of the beautiful yarns that I got during December. It is a calendar from Fibersmith, a yarn store online in Melbourne, Australia. And my oldest son visited, he had a vacation in Australia, and I asked him to pick up organizers from Kmart for my advent calendar yarn. So he had to have plastic tubs in his suitcase when returning to Denmark, because Kmart has these wonderful organizers, plastic organizers with 24 rooms, spaces, compartments that I've used before, and I wasn't able to find anything similar here in Denmark. So, there is a business idea or an idea for importing these plastic organizers from Kmart. I know that there will be a bit of glare, but look at how stunning it looks in these tubs. And again, I've received a lot of questions. What will you use this for? I don't know. It will just sit on the shelf, just like a large book on the shelf, and sit there and look pretty. I ordered 3 boxes, so I have a few extra should I buy another advent calendar this year. I love how it looks, and I've tried to organize it like a color coordination. I enjoyed myself doing that. Love it. Yeah, that was the advent calendar organization. Then before we sign off, I just want to talk about some plans in the future. There is Knitathon again, and Knitathon is this online event where we knit together for 24 hours or as many hours as we wish for. It is hosted by Traveling Miss Knits. Go check her YouTube channel out. She's a wonderful knitter, designer, Danish, Pia Trans. I have joined a few times, and during those 24 hours, different podcasters from around the world will release or go live with podcast episodes. So there is a full program of entertainment that you can watch while knitting away during the 24 hours. It is available on Pia's website, which is called 50 Fabulous. So you can see the program there. I was thinking of doing a live episode. I might do that. Or as I am visiting family in Jutland, I might actually pre-record an episode and then release it like a premiere release during the Knitathon. My spot is Sunday the 30th of March, 10 a.m. European time, so Copenhagen, Paris. And during that weekend, we change time to daylight saving, so we lose an hour. That means for you in Australia, it will be 10 a.m. plus 9 hours, so it is 7 p.m. Sunday the 30th of March. For the States and Canada, you are further back in time. I will put it on the screen here what the New York time would be for you. I hope you will join in and tune in to the release. I am leaning towards a special episode that will be released on Sunday the 30th of March. I hope to see many of you there. And also, if you don't participate in a knitathon, it's free. You don't need to sign up. You just join in. And then you get to, if you join in on those lives and the releases of podcasts, you might see and talk to people in the commentary from around the world, and you might recognize people from one podcast to the other. That is what I had of craft-related content today. I hope you enjoyed being here with me. Please like, subscribe, share, turn on the little bell so you get notified when there's a new episode. And I hope to see you again in the next episode. If you want to hear a bit of what else is happening sort of outside my knitting life, please hang on. I am really enjoying myself. I think since we last spoke, which is I think 3 weeks ago or something, I think I have settled. I am calm and I'm really enjoying myself. This will all work out. I'm still applying for jobs and looking for jobs, and it's quite interesting to do the research and to look for different companies, what is happening out there. So I am enjoying that, and also Of course, I don't know when a job will arrive, but I am trying hard and I am succeeding in enjoying the break that I have. So I knit, I watch podcasts, I go for walks, I enjoy the beautiful sunshine that we have had lately, and soon spring will be here. Well, it is actually. We are in the first month of spring here. So to see the trees change and small flowers and just that early signs of spring, I'm just enjoying it all and immersing myself in it. Also, I have started in a running club, so beginners running 3 times a week here locally, and that's just I think the best thing that I've done for myself in many years, both health-wise, exercise-wise, but also socially. Because, we started 75 on a 3 months process or progress towards 5 kilometers, and starting at a slow pace, minute walk, minute running, and then you're of course increasing the running each time. But you get to meet people, you get to chat. And I'm just looking forward to every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday when we meet and go for a short run in the forest just close by. Love it, love it. I think I also told you that I found a choir that I sing in every Wednesday. Also locally, 100 people meeting up, singing rhythmic songs, English and Danish songs. Some of the Danish ones I didn't know of, so that's also upgrading my knowledge of Danish music that has been sort of popular and released during the years that I've been overseas. Yeah, so really, really enjoying myself. Catching up with knitting friends, making new friends, joining knitting groups. Yeah, it's just lovely. It is absolutely amazing. And I'm so grateful for my family and my brother in particular, who has invited me to stay as long as I need to. Maybe maybe he will regret that offer if I stay too long. And soon my daughter and my youngest son will arrive as well. They will visit here from May to end of June. And my youngest son will stay. He just applied for university here in the Copenhagen and other areas of Denmark. So hopefully he gets in and will be accepted to start studying in September. All bright and sunny and shiny, and I'm in a really good place. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you enjoyed, that you got a few rounds of knitting in, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again on the 30th of March, 10 a.m. Central European Daylight Saving Time. See you then. Bye.